Yeah, I'm going back. Try to see if the saves work. Yeah, the comment I had was just another one of those spam. But yeah, luckily we did this like right before. We saved right before we got to the hallway. I was thinking, the doctor kept laws, everything right. Oh, won't let go of this. Could have had nothing to do with this. Won't let me go ahead even though I played past this. I guess the autosave, where the autosave isn't working, it didn't actually save it. Remind me about everything on a ship log, reporting some way, entering the armor, accessing the central computer. What are you getting at, Lieutenant? No, we don't want to go to the bridge. We want to go to the central computer. And then probably get, like, jumped by someone from the vents in the central computer room. Come on. Yeah, it won't let me skip through this even though I played through this. Okay, it's being a bit more responsive. It's still not fast, but I say as I glitch, as I, jinx that. Yeah. Come on, you can do it. Okay. I'm gonna get this going. Come on. It's a little bit faster, but it's still fucking being a dick, and I hate to get to the part where it's timed. Yeah. To at least save my progress. Okay. Oh, God. I'm getting so pissed at this, I'm gonna be honest. And we try that one again. I was hoping with the timer, Okay. I think it's gonna be exactly what we want. We'll go for it. Maybe. This is really frustrating. This is really pissing me off. I know the whole point was to have the save. Tried this right before this, but okay. On. Yeah, that's not how we want that to go anyway. This is kind of really hard to work out because it just doesn't want to respond to anything I do. Can I turn, like... Yeah. What does turning this do? Yeah. Just can't do this. Just really just not want to respond at all. I think I probably have to like turn these ones around. So what we're gonna do, well, let me access the save. Oh damn, I can't get it. Captain, come on. Okay. Okay, we got an autosave right before this. Yeah. Okay, come on, you can do it. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get around through the center. You're doing good. There we go. And we'll get Lieutenant. Hurry up. It's hard to focus because it just does not want to respond, and it's hard to think of other options. Yeah, and we're in the timer section. I think the fucking time makes it even worse because it fucking, you know. Gives it more UI to focus on. I didn't forget, you know. There we go. Need this one now. There we go. As the door of the armory slides open, you whistle and wave the captain over. You spend a few seconds being surprised at how quickly she closed the gap between the two of you. You never thought the heels of a certain Jovian officer's wore to be the kind of shoes you could run in, but the captain was actually disproving that. Yeah, they're high heel boots. Waiting for her to slip through the door. And outside the armory, take a look around. Everything as it was expected to be. Head inside the locker where Hanson and Haru would have removed the weapons from, and noticed that although they'd done a good job of disguising the fact that guns had been taken, there were still a few telltale signs. Yeah, we noticed this before. We noticed that stuff had been taken. Internally, you were really kicking yourself that you hadn't noticed on your previous inspection. You knew they had weapons. The whole situation would have gone very differently. We did know someone had been fucking with the armory, fucker. Spent some time looking through the glass with various weapons within, deciding that would be the best option. If things turned violent. It wasn't a thought you enjoyed, even though you're part of a mutiny. Your training as a security officer had a strong focus on never using lethal force against crewmates. Unfortunately, in this kind of scenario, you weren't sure you'd be left with much of a choice. Though they're a bit further than your average suit, they don't really offer any tactical advantage, especially not in a firefight. This logger's electroshock weapons stand a chance against Hansen or Haru with one of these. I'd like to keep things non-lethal, but really have luxury. They wouldn't be intimidated by this spell, not with what they're armed with. Did it count that? Okay. Small arms and light weapons possess enough to give access to the locker some point after we get back from the O'Brien. I wish I'd noticed. We did notice. We noticed, and you said specifically that we were going to go talk to the captain about it. Assessing the weapons that you could choose when the captain appears beside you. So, Lieutenant, you made your choice? You nod towards a submachine gun. That's what Hansen's armed with, so it would put me at equal footing with him at the very least. Only issue is, move towards the lock and place in the weapons locker. Tried to open this, I'll send an alert up on the bridge, just like the one you would have got when you took my electroshock weapon. When I took my electroshock weapon. You would have got when I took my electroshock. There's no way for me to get out with alerting Lord. Could try taking the casing off, but this lock looks different to the doors I've opened so far. Lieutenant Knight, we really need to start thinking a bit more outside the box. We're gonna fucking shoot the glass, aren't we? The reason I think of that is because of the Cape Red and the Castro that we just watched. That RoboSpacer played, where he just shot like the windows and stuff, like shot everything. Well, they had a revolver. Well, they had a 6-shot revolver, but we shot everything on that stream. Up to you. For you, the stopper, the captain pulls the revolver out from where you stuffed it in your waistband and brings it out in front of her, firing 3 shots to the glass before it shatters. So we have 3 shots left. Captain. Arnold Bruglat's captain takes hold of one of the submachine guns and hands it to you. You got a submachine gun. Am I wrong assuming that we don't have luxury of wasting any more time on these locks, Lieutenant? Look back at the captain as you grab 2 magazines from the locker, checking any damage to the captain's creative method of gaining access. No, ma'am, but then consider it a problem solved. Stuffing the revolver back in the jacket pocket, the captain leaves you to finish inspecting the magazines. Oh, she took her gun back. Satisfied that you've had enough ammunition to join her by the door, looking around, and for anyone, you may have heard the gunshots. Luckily, the thoroughfare remains empty, and the airtight nature of the armory door, coupled with the noise from the nearby engineering department, seems to have gone through us to muffle the sound. Yeah, I don't know why she didn't take something too. Like, you just got 3 shots in your revolver. Alright then, let's go. Doesn't take too long for 2 to travel the remainder of the aft thoroughfare and arrive at engineering. As there you slip behind the first most obtruse piece of machinery you find before carefully peering to check the path the central computer is clear. Captain close behind, dashing on the various catwalks that take you to where you need to be. Fortunately for both of you, your path is clear. It doesn't take long before you get to the entrance of the central computer. Here we are. And there's a key card. Top weapon that normally used to ship was boarded by enemy force. Doesn't really feel right carrying it around, but I might need it. I'm gonna save right now. Because I have a feeling that this is going to fucking bug. Yeah, it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning. Just thinking about it. There we go. I'll use a ship with this board by any force, really. No right carrying around, but I might need it. Cassie's key card in your pocket, slide it through the card reader terminal, and the door hisses open. You have the captain's side, take one last look to assure you have not the spot before following her in. First-hand experience of how small this room was, but now that you're inside with the captain, you quickly come to the conclusion that it was never designed for more than one occupant. Got a trackball, though. 2 occupants shift around, each of you doing your best to not press into the other. However, you stand side by side facing the large monitor in front of you, it's possible for you to nudge or jostle each other when making this movement. The frustrated side, the captain begins to type rapidly on the keyboard, bringing up a selection of different windows and screens. There we are, Lieutenant. Seems our new captain doesn't have the technical wherewithal to restrict access to the system. Given that we appear to have complete digital freedom, what were you intending to look for? Well, I was thinking that if we see whoever the bioscanner logged accessing sickbay just before we went to visit Commander Quinn, that should show us who murdered the doctor. That shouldn't be too hard. Captain mutters to herself as she fingers fly deftly over the keyboard. Given that you've only ever used essential functions on your terminal, you were amazed to watch the Captain navigate various windows, menus, realms of data, and commands with such swiftness. Yeah, these terminals don't seem to have nice, like it's got this trackball here, but like the one in our room just seems to be keyboards. The second coalesces into a small series of windows, each one tilted with a crew member's name and followed by a list of where and when they attacks. Accessed anywhere using the keypads. There, every crew member in a chronological list of everywhere they've been logging, entering, or leaving, starting with the most recent locations. Without the hint of smug pride in the captain's voice as he presents her handiwork to you. That's great, Captain, thank you. Feedback vaguely. Your focus instead on scanning a list of locations, times that she'd obtained for each member of the crew. You look through the record deposit and ask the captain to bring a different window to the foreground so you could review it. Despite a thorough inspection of everyone's logs, you were left with a problem. Captain? No one here is logged entering sickbay at any point near when the doctor would have been killed. Are you sure? Sifting through the center of the keyboard, pushing you up against one of the walls, the cramped compartment, the captain scans the log, quickly skipping from window to window. From the looks of it, the last person to enter sickbay was you. But that was well before the doctor would have been killed, not long after I briefed you on your task in the hangar, in fact. It doesn't make any sense. Someone must have been picked up by the bioscanner when they went in. Yeah, when it tells you like, oh, we should have, like, things would have gone differently if you noticed weapons missing, it's like, we did. We tried. We were going to tell the captain, and then the player character never did. Don't worry, Lieutenant. There's more than one way to look at this. Yeah, they have, they could have, you know, used the vents. Maintenance shaft. As Captain resumed the rapid type of keyboard, installing you repeatedly getting an elbow jab in your ribs. Current batch of windows disappeared, replaced by a similar looking different set of data. There, that's a history of entry logs sorted by room instead. Let's look at sickbay. That can't be right. You need the captain to get a clear look at the information on the screen. No information? How can there be no information? The scanner tracks everyone. It's got all of us on file. And I'm responsible for adding the biodata for everyone that comes on board the ship. There's no way that someone could have a dummy entry without me knowing. Captain begins to type again and quickly press yourself against the wall to avoid another barrage of strikes on your ribs. No information. Sickbay 2129. Just before I got there. No information. Crew quarters 5. 2102. Crew quarters 5. That's Cassie's cabin. Why? Yeah, we know someone was in there. We saw her terminal on. No information. Central computer 2021. No information. Entry room 1933. No information. Mess hall 1910. No information. Hangar 1850. Just after you and Ensign Croix had crashed into the hangar alongside that thing. Is that it, Captain? Are there any logs? Maybe best to set up a dummy profile to fake biodata or something. No, it seems obvious that it's the thing that came from the ship. The captain shakes her head, her brow furrowed as she stares at the screen. That's not possible. The profiles are created back at Europa Colony using biometric data from each crew member and then uploaded to the ship. She couldn't possibly get security clearance required to make a fake profile. Maybe someone's isn't working properly then. Bad data maybe. Hangar 1850, that's the first entry for no information. You both stand in silence. Were the logs really saying that you thought they were saying? I need to get some space, some air. It's too crowded in here. Captain does her best to turn on the spot, but still has to barge her way past you to leave the room. Captain, wait. Captain, come back. We need to. Whatever is happening where my ship is going on too long, has been going on long enough. I don't have time for these silly games anymore. Yeah, one of the streamers I watched, Lance, that also rated me, he's been like going into the Dojin mode and stuff to see, and he looks even more pissed in Dojin mode. I don't want to risk it with this just because when I tried to play the demo before in the not in the color mode, but the Dojin, like the, you know, the filter, it wouldn't let me, so I kind of don't want to mess with it on PlayStation just in case it bugs out. Yeah, the color mode, She looks pissed. No time for these silly games anymore. We've already lost one member of the crew, and that could just be the beginning. That bitch needs to know that she's putting us in jeopardy. So let her say bitch, but they don't let Cassie say fuck anymore. As the captain turns to head away, you dart past her, blocking your way. Captain, wait, please, if you move, Lieutenant, now. Despite her visible fury, you stand her ground, preventing her from moving past you in the narrow catwalk. If you go up there now, you know how she'll react. There's no way we can best rescue to help us if we can't figure out what's going on. If you just leave now, this will be for nothing. We don't have time for this, Lieutenant. Get out of my way. Can't let you go, ma'am. Move. With a sharp swing, the captain swings her palm towards your face as she yells. I am your captain, damn it. Slap catches you on the cheek and your head snaps to the right, but with a single movement, you're glaring directly at the captain's eyes as your own hand strikes her in kind. You struck me. Even my... Captain, stop it. You bark. Don't you think I feel the same way? I want to stop this too. But we are the only ones who know about this, and if we get bundled back into our quarters, or worse, that's it for the crew and this whole damn ship. So listen to me. We need to figure this out. Now. Captain's face is a grim picture of anger, and you hear her teeth grinding, but following your outburst, she remains still, glowering at you. Breathing heavily, your cheeks flush and hot as the stinging sensation subsides, you step towards her, saying nothing. Yeah, one thing about this, like, there's not any guides. Like, there's some for achievements, but a lot of them are missing stuff. Because, you know, it's just, like, ones that you could possibly miss. Yeah, there's no, like, walkthroughs or anything, so we're figuring this out alone. Because I plotted some in Spoilers channel, but I haven't looked at it, because, again, I haven't finished my whole playthrough. I'm only, on my first playthrough. Fine then, Lieutenant, have it your way. Was that the McDonald's thing for a bit? Yeah, I think that's what they had. I don't know if it was before or after the good, but yeah, have it your way. No, it's Subway. Subway, have it your way. Yeah. I think having all the factor side make a difference. Right. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and exhale, doing your best. And center yourself and focus. Everything you found out while rolls inside your head is caught in a windstorm. With so much new knowledge, it was difficult to pin down any incoherent thoughts. But you knew that you needed to figure out exactly what was going on, especially after what you've seen just on the computer's records. Right, first things first. Lord's pinned the death of Dr. Rosario and Cassie as part of the conspiracy she's accused the two of you of. I know there's no way she could have done that to him. As much as your good word stands for anything, Lieutenant, how do we know that for sure? Well, why would Cassie have killed the doctor? Oh, we're getting Ace Attorney here. They killed the doctor. She'd have been completely knocked out when the murder happened. He arrived minutes after when the tablet shows she was sedated. I arrived minutes after that. Dosage, the timing, it's all there. She couldn't possibly have killed him. She was unconscious at the time it happened. Good, Lieutenant, good. It will be hard for Lord to argue with records like that, even if she argues with the circumstances. Yeah, the music in the Packer is really Ace Attorney. Like, you know, a turnabout. As well as that, I had Chief Carthays and Ensign Rumney carry the commander up to her quarters afterwards. They were both well aware of how she was completely passed out. But then again, Captain, knowing Lord, she probably wheeled her way around the point to pull out loose threads to make others question it. Well, the thing is, with Rumney, Haru was just like a switch, you know, ready to go on being a fucking dick. Like, going right after, you know, just being a, you know, a trained dog, like, you know, a goon. We know the doctor had sedated the commander shortly before you arrived. But to play devil's advocate, how do we know she didn't kill him just before the sedatives took effect? I hadn't thought about that. those drugs that quickly, though. Cassie wouldn't have been able to wait for that long. Long enough for Lord, I'm sure. We need to prove she didn't kill him before she fell unconscious. Well, I couldn't kill him. Cassie killed him sedative sympathetic. The cause of death. There's no way she could have killed him. And why is that, Lieutenant? The cause of death, think about it. Whatever she killed, what also killed him also deactivated his prosthetics and left signs of singeing along his body, where his body met the metal. Yeah, that was like a horrible way for the poor doctor to die. That could have been done by source of high power that could have only been done by sort of high power electricity, something like an electroshock weapon. I didn't find one in there, and no one mentioned it finding one either. So unless she got sedated, drew a previously hidden electroshock weapon and managed to hide it again. Like, and they'd play this as me helping her out, you know, because I was there, I had the electroshock weapon on me at the time. You know, it's a ridiculous scenario. Possibly. But what an electroshock weapon were to be found. Like, no way, ma'am. Search that room from top to bottom. Are you sure? What if Lord were to investigate the room himself and one were to conveniently appear? That's ridiculous. Shouldn't she be planning evidence? I think she wouldn't resort to that. Like, you don't know fucking Lord. She wouldn't resort to that. Yeah. If we're going to pursue with logic, we need to be airtight. I can assure Miss Quinn didn't hide an electroshock weapon. She couldn't access the armory. That's simple. She couldn't have an electroshock weapon in the first place. And why not? She couldn't have one because she couldn't get into the armory. Only a member of security have access to the armory, and it's you that grants authority to crew members to access it. Yeah, she could have had my fucking weapon again. If you never granted her access, she wouldn't be able to get in to get one. You never granted her access, have you? Of course not. Especially not after reading what happened during her firearms training. Poor Cassie. So if you never granted her access, she's never gotten her hands on one, right? That's correct. And that's something we can back up using the ship's own logs. There should only be one instance of electroshock weapon being taken in. Mission yours. That's gotta be enough to prove Cassie didn't do it, right, Captain? Can't see any holes in the air that left for Lord to exploit. Yeah, she just say that we gave it to her. We're her, you know, her girlfriend. Like, you know. To prove that Miss Quinn wasn't conscious at the time of the doctor's death, and even if she had been, it would have been impossible to have procured the murder weapon. Yeah, like we could have, like, she could have been sedated, half asleep. I went there, gave her the weapon. She killed the doctor, and well, I could have left it previously when I left the fucking chocolate bar in her villa to account for the door scare. Hopefully that should allay any suspicions the crew have that she is the guilty party. Great. But what about my part in Lord's fabricating a series of events? Where she's accused of you of being unavailable to repose on purpose during the blackout. That's right. She can accuse the commander of being part of that as well. Even though we might be able to prove Miss Quinn had nothing to do with the murder, Lord will likely just accuse me of killing him and focus her argument against us on the sabotage. Yeah, you're right. It's not like she left the truth to get in her way so far. So then, Lieutenant. Yeah, this is like the thing that someone posted, like Dee's going like, you know, Beastie Boys track, like, Captain could have done it because she's indisposed, like, you know. What can we tell everyone to convince them that neither Miss Quinn or myself were responsible for the sabotage or shirking our duties? Who was a casting and captain responsible for the sabotage? We were both unwell. So Lord's argument is that you both traitors through inactivity, right? That was what? That it was a choice. Yeah, who found the doctor? Like, or found the captain and Lord the doctor? I'm betting it was Lord. Using the doctor's data pad, we see that both of you were ill at the time the blackout happened. There was no choice about it. The doctor made note that what happened to you as well as the scan and treatment he gave Cassie. He wouldn't have done that unless he found cause to. That proves you both had a genuine medical need. Doctor may have had his quirks, but I don't think the crew will believe he is confident or a liar. Yeah. He didn't start Cassie's scans until after the blackout, though. Yes. That should work. That's it, then. That's you and Cassie in the clear. Well, as long as we can trust the crew to listen to reason. But that still leaves us with... who is actually responsible? Yeah. Even if we confront Vanessa and prove you're innocent, there will still be a murderer aboard the ship. We won't be safe until we figure out who that is. That leaves us with a new question. Who exactly is responsible for all this? Who's the real culprit? Yeah, we just could accuse Vanessa. I don't think it was anyone from the crew. No. If you think about it, when the blackout happened, no one was in any position to take advantage of it. We were all totally taken by surprise. It didn't seem like anything that happened from within the ship either, and the chief would have figured out what caused it otherwise. Plus, the same thing happened to the O'Brien. It wasn't just the power going off that affected O'Brien either. The doctor was also killed. They didn't mention that in the report. Then we did... you did mention that report. I was going to say, you didn't mention that. I'm sure we would have mentioned that. I don't know what no one said myself. That means to kill the doctor in the way we can see he died. But that means... But even then, the entry logs for the sick bay show that the bioscanner didn't pick anyone going in. Just this, no information. And we know when it first showed up. So you think that thing and its pilot are responsible for all this? It's the only way it makes sense. Maybe they tried to take out both the O'Brien and us, but we were able to get the ship back online. Now they're trying a different approach. Or they're working with Lord. I wouldn't put it past her. I had hoped that the Chief Cathays so thoroughly reassured me that no one was getting out of that mess we wouldn't have any issues with their pilot. But, I agree, there doesn't seem to be anyone on board who could have been responsible for everything that's going on. There's no individual or even a combination of crew that would have required skill, agenda, and malice. Yeah, because, like, the Chief would, but the Chief doesn't have the malice. And Lord has the malice, but doesn't have the skills. And then why? I'm losing my voice too. This mysterious pilot's causing all this to happen, then what's the benefit to them? Why would they do it? I don't think this is it. We're gonna save though. Because it hasn't saved some stuff. Because, you know, we had the bug. I'll put it... I'm putting choices here. I'll put it here. Could it be a spy? Spy? Yeah, someone from the Solar Bear is trying to use their state-of-the-art technology to find out what's going on in the JUCF, maybe to infiltrate ships and steal information. But we've caught them, and now the whole plan's gone out of scope, so they're trying to get rid of us. I don't think that's going to be the case, Lieutenant. It's far too roundabout a way to commit espionage, not to mention the risks involved in getting a machine like that so deep into enemy territory. If I want to steal information with JUCF, there'd be easier ways to do it. Good thing I'm not charged with GCF spies, huh? A very good thing. We can be confident they're not a spy, Lieutenant, but we need to ascertain what this encroacher is up to. What's the benefit for everyone doing this? Yeah. I'm gonna guess it's not like pirate sounds the most likely, but then again, we're gonna go with her after Cassie, and then we're gonna come back. I was gonna sound crazy, Captain, but hear me out. Whoever this is, I think they're after Cassie. That's quite the statement, Lieutenant. Explain. Well, there's a couple things that might be wrong, but tell me why you think they're after Commander Quinn, Lieutenant. Alright, I think it's because something about this whole situation that was bothering you. You noticed that they seemingly desperate happenings that were only just coming together as related events in your mind. Each one seemed inconsequential in light of what you discovered they had pulled to the front of your mind. So though you could feel a thread that you couldn't see, that you couldn't explain. So the captain stares at you, her ice cold blue eyes sending a chill down your spine. You need to say something to one you can't deny, and you blurt out the only thing you think of to express it. I just have a feeling. No, right, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, take a deep breath. You're totally sure about everything you've noticed, the odd habits that you picked up on. It can only be the explanation to stand. Still couldn't quite form a picture of what was going on in your head, but you knew you were close to figuring out. You knew what was important. Traffic happenings that hadn't made sense on their own. They didn't seem like anything to worry about. Now that we're here, they do. When I reactivate the Gundam's computer, I could hear the same signal that came out of the bridge comms just before the whole ship shut down and Cassie collapsed. Oh, I was gonna check something. When I was watching Lance play, he got a scene I didn't get on the O'Brien, so I wanted to go back and watch that. And Cassie collapsed. The whole thing went haywire. Everyone's crew reports were flashing on the screen, but the only one that stayed was hers. And the whole thing shut down? At the time, I thought the computer had been damaged by the sudden loss of power, but now I had to wonder what if the signal was coming from that machine when it was on the O'Brien. Why would it focus on Cassie's file? Then after I got back to O'Brien, was on patrol. She thought Cassie's scores someone had loaded up her terminal. Right then I figured she left it on, but the logs show that whoever no information is, they gone into her quarters. They didn't enter anyone else's, so I heard. She blacked out when they heard the signal too. She's only one crew member who seemed to be affected by it. It's her. All things keep happening to her. There's certainly some interesting observations, but it makes you think there's something so special to her that something would go to all this effort. Well, there's just, you're trying to get at it. The point you prove clearer, the piece understand it, let you see it all clearly. You can feel the concepts in your head begin to crystallize something substantial, but you're still moments away from being able to comprehend everything that's going on. There's just something special about her, I know there is. Something special that, like a captain's eyes flicker, you feel your observation has shifted from curious to cynical. You know you need to explain it in a way that makes sense before he loses faith in you. I know she is special because of how they left her alive. Left her alive? That's right, in sickbay, they didn't harm her. When I got to the door, it was already dead. I didn't see anyone down the sick. I got to... Yeah, the doctors are dead. See anyone in the sick bay before I did, they must have gone down and at least had a few minutes ahead of time. They would have had plenty of time to kill her as well. Well, they didn't. They left her alive. Left you alive as well, Lieutenant. That's only because Hansen raised the alarm before he noticed them attack me. I was lucky that the blow didn't kill me, and if Hansen hadn't pulled the alarm, they'd been able to finish me off just like the doctor. I still think Hansen... But then why would they, hit them instead of shocking them? I still think Hansen is the one who punched us. So they killed the doctor, attacked me while I left Cassie unharmed. They wouldn't have left her alone unless they wanted her for something, right? Full force Captain Steel gaze feels like it could penetrate right through you at any moment to say the wrong thing. While I spin at ease around the captain due to her judgmental aura and the constant sense of solemn appeal that comes from her stare. Right now you feel like the whole premise is resting on the nice edge of her acceptance. The captain takes a long, slow breath, hold it, which continues to appraise you. Eventually slices out a similar drawl out of exhilaration. How do we know these aren't just coincidences, Lieutenant? So a lot we don't know about what's going on. Why are you confident in all this? Yes, I am. What makes you so confident? With everything so uncertain, that makes you think that it isn't just a big series of coincidences. I don't think so, ma'am, after all. How's everything together? What about crap done on still one piece? Like crap, whatever it was, went through the Orion like it was nothing and then made it all the way to the Gundog. Why did it do it? Didn't it just destroy the ship then and there? Then I saw how powerful its beam weapon is. It sliced through the Orion's armor with ease. If it had been caught in the beam when Juno would have been vaporized in a second. Why didn't it destroy the ship when it had every chance to? Why did it go dead at the exact moment it did when we fly it right in the hangar? Why is the ship still online when the thing could have knocked it offline with a signal? I'm getting so drowsy. Oh my god, why did all the weapons and everything keep coming back to Cassie? Captain sways slightly with her eyes shut with tense again. Exasperated look sweeps her face. Realize just passion you got in your attempts to convince her. Sorry, Captain, I just think you're right, Lieutenant. You do? As you believe all sequence of events that's happened to Miss Quinn, what we've seen on those logs, all that seems to indicate that something is going on, that something is central around our Lieutenant Commander. If it's all the case and they've been thwarted before, we don't know what else they try. Prior to that, we get the Gundog out from under Lieutenant Lord's control. I need the entire ship to handle this. Yes, ma'am. Well done, Lieutenant. Captain, you exceeded my expectations. I'm glad that I got in. Acting on pure instinct, you sprint away from the captain towards the entrance of the aft thoroughfare. Get back here, Lieutenant. But the captain's orders continue towards the sound of gunfire. It tears through the air. As a security officer, you know this is your duty, but beyond that, you had a terrible feeling. What you realized, if you realized everything too late. You dashed through engineering down the length of the corridor, the sound of gunfire reverberating through the long hallway. This music's good. Listening staccato is beaten out of distance. You drop to the floor as bullets punch through the space around you. Scramble back to your feet, vaulting towards the central hub. As a flurry of shots enters the volley, you narrowly evade it. Another burst of gunfire cracks the air just as you dive out of the thoroughfare, clatter bullets striking the wall behind you. More shots fly past you, scramble on the floor, finally finding safety by pressing yourself against the wall adjacent to the floor-side thoroughfare entrance. Knight, what the hell are you doing here? Look at his face. That is not, that's someone who fucking does not, like, his match is like, he's not angry, he's just like, stoned. Ensign's crouched on the other side of the entry. Hanson looks at you in confusion. Harrow leans around the corner, firing off another burst. Does it matter? What's going on? What does it look like? Damn it! Harrow quickly ducks behind the corner. Just another salvo pierces the space that stood in. Hanson responds to crying before returning to cover. Who is it? Friend of Quinn's, looks like. What? Lean around the corner trying to catch a glimpse of attackers. Harrow takes the opportunity to fire back. Who? Wait. Almost out of sight, slouched against the wall, leaning in the corners, is an unconscious Cassie. Cassie! Don't even hold the fire, you might hit Cassie. We'll stop shooting when they do, Lieutenant. Use your psychic powers, Haru. The lethal back and forth continues. The hub fills with the stink of gunfire and hot metal. You've been right, someone was after Cassie, but you realized it too late. What would you do now? Let this carry on. It won't be long until Cassie is caught by a stray bullet. Normally you use a ship port. The enemy port doesn't really feel like carrying around, but you might need it. If we're gonna use this. An item popped up. Oh, say hello to my little friend. Draw the gun that you stuffed inside your jacket and flick the safety off. Making sure to aim high so you not hit Cassie, you pivot around the corner. See your opportunity, and you fire. Try and... Is that their arm, or what, like... Yeah, it's very, Solid Snakey outfit, you know, with the tight curves. Bunch of shots impact the attacker, running up pursuit and striking her helmet. But she remained standing, totally unfazed. Began to squeeze the trigger again when... What? Cassie? Oh shit. Cassie? But how? I... put it back out front and kind of would a slew of shots. What is that? When? Can't be. Whatever. Shifting his weight, Hanson prepares to fire around the corner, which is protrude by his latest development. dive into Hanson, forcing his gun upwards with trail bolts, marking the ceiling. Don't shoot. Get off me. Croix, they're moving. Hanson shoves you off to watch Cassie throw Cassie over her shoulder and disappear through the hangar. Hey, stop. Sprint up and sprint after the two of them falling through the open doors. Large past the entrance and stop. Leap down each set of stairs as soon as the gravity begins to lessen, you vault the railing and drop down to the bottom. Stop right there. You yell as you burst into the hangar, gun drawn. Standing in front of a huge massive machine of foam staring back at you is Cassie. Is what looks like Cassie. Despite her appearance, there's no recognition of you in her eyes. Yeah, that's not my girlfriend. The usual joy that permeates her entire being is absent. The thing stood in front of you is a facade, nothing more. Who are you? What do you want? You glance to her side and see Cassie, or Cassie slumped beside the silent imitator. Cassie? You raise your gun and level it at the duplicate, but your hands are shaking as much as you stare down at the face of your beloved. Just give her back. I won't shoot. Slight movement catches your eye. You look past her target at the entombed craft behind her. Fragments of foam cut through the air as the machine's prison is vaporized in an instant. Where's Dalton in all this? You've thrown back, the impact of its leg hits the catwalk, only saving yourself from slamming at the hangar's rear wall by grabbing onto a nearby railing. Wait. Before you can recover, they grab Cassie, slipping the mask over her face and throw her over her shoulder before retreating up to the machine's leg. In seconds, the pair disappears inside the hatch atop the craft that closes as soon as they're through. Oh, they got a bomb on the hangar door. You can see it blinking. I spring forward, kicking out the wall behind you when you feel a sudden rush all around you, drawing you forward. Grab onto the catwalk's railing just in time. Hangar door is opening. Oh, so the bomb is just blinking. Shut up. You brace yourself against the air whipping past you, doing your best not to get dragged along out into space. Oh, we're hot. Night, what the hell is going on? Yeah, we don't have our earrings in either that we have in the picture, so they must be clip-ons. Because, I'm sure I saw someone else with earrings. Maybe they have to remove them for active duty. You heard Hanson yell over a rush of oxygen and glanced back to see him and her hanging to the hangar's entryway. I always forget how hot we are. Get back here. The whole place is depressurizing. Yeah, butts do look really hot here. They've taken Cassie. We've got to get her out of there. You shout back, the torrent of air continuing to rush out of the hangar and snatching the words from your mouth as soon as you say them. What are you talking about? Get over here. You feel the machine steps reverberate around you as it stomps your way out of the hangar. Stamps its way out of the hangar. The engines ignite on a searing blast of heat hits your back as it soars away from the gunshot. I'll take a screenshot. This is a little bit easier with everything. If you want a picture of the thing. Give it up, Knight. She's gone. Get back here. Cassie's been taken. Whatever that machine was, whoever its pilot was, she was with them now, hurling away from the ship. No, we're fucking going after. Hanson and her remain clinging to the entryway, gesturing for you to get out of there. Either you could have convinced them to help Cassie, would Nessa let them go in their armored frames? Maybe she was already ordering Dylan to fire on the craft. It's up to me. I've got to. I must. We can't save Cassie. We must save Cassie. We're going all in. We must save her. I'm losing my voice really bad too. I just can't let her go. She needs me. Yeah, they need each other. They really do. They're a great couple. But I have to. I need to. I need to save Cassie. It's up to me. If I don't, no one else will. But to save her, I'll have to. I have to save Cassie. Like how it's giving me all these options to like not save her. She needs me. Yeah, we're getting our PTSD here. She's counting on me. This is it. I'm going to. Yeah, we're gonna save Cassie, damn it. This is so epic. I love this. Dot, dot, dot. I'm going to save Cassie. You turn and bring your right leg over the railing. Knight, don't. Ensign lunges out to grab you, but it's too late. You throw yourself into the void of the hangar and snatch away by the vacuum. Yeah, we're just gonna fucking die in space now. Thank you. This is what managed to grab onto the Juno as you fly past it. Your arm nearly wrenched from its socket by the force. I keep screenshotting my character because she's just so hot. Despite hang on and pull your way towards the access panel by the cockpit, fighting against the rush of air that continues to buffet against you as you input the series of commands to open the hatch. As soon as it opens, you clamber inside and grab an emergency oxygen mask, laying it over your face as you activate the armor frame. Hit the combination of switches and buttons required to start the machine. You feel a dull rumble followed by a swell and vibrations as the system throughout the cockpit are illuminated one by one. Yeah, we're going in. Grip the flight sticks and squeeze, breathing deeply and slowly. Oh, we're wearing a fucking skirt. I thought we were wearing pants. We did all this in our skirt and our pantyhose and our little high-heeled boots. We do this. As you push down on the pedals, the Juno walks forward and you direct it to grab a machine gun from a nearby rack of weapons before turning to face the open hangar door. Here at the main monitor, trying to locate the enemy craft amongst the stars, but are distracted by a window as a window opens on the screen and you're left with a shrill voice yells at you from the monitor speakers. I'll go eat shit, Vanessa. You and the Juno haven't even given you permission to launch. Haven't given anyone permission to launch. We don't have to have permission to launch. We're fucking out the door. As long as this thing, like, disengages with my, commands on, like, the first time, we're out the door. This whole fucking hangar's depressurizing. We're just going zoom. What? Lieutenant Knight, what are you doing in there? You're supposed to be locked in your quarters. Get back up here, now. Sorry, Lord, I'm going after Cassie. You're what? I love how her radio signal picture doesn't match her face at all. You're not leaving the ship, you traitor. Get out of there, and get your quarters now. If you don't, I'll press a single button on the screen and cutting off Vanessa's transmission. I thought she was even giving a thumbs up, like thumbs up and just zoom. Oh, I hope Dalton's alright. If he's in the fucking hangar, he's just out in space now, he's dead. Oh my fuck. There's a joke that, like, Dalton died in a glue trap, you know, like the meme. And I was like, no, he's out in space, he's dead. Goodbye, Dalton, I'm sorry. Couldn't care less about what she said or how she threatened you, you were done worrying. Everything you did now, you did for you. For Cassie. This is Lieutenant Lori Knight. Flight 5. Launching. Cannon's probably think we fucking lost our mind now, bringing up the clock. Both flight sticks forward As you watch Hanson during his duel against the machine, sending the Juno tearing through space towards where you'd last seen the night. The kidnapper's craft hitting. There you are. You force the controls as far forward as they will go, demanding every last ounce of thrust available from the engine. The cockpit begins to judder around you, but you don't let up. This music is so epic. As the gap between your armor frame and the main machine closes, it quickly comes from within visual range, and you notice it remains still, almost like it is suspended in space. Oh, we got a fucking wormhole now. We're gonna see the prophets now. In front of you, you see a strange shifting distortion, though the space ahead of you have been torn open. You're not going anywhere. With a twist of the flight stick, the Juno banks right, and you bring yourself around the wide arc, building up speed until... Give her back. Your head is still ringing from the impact, and you taste blood in your mouth, but you manage to regain control of your armor frame, raising its beam gun towards the enemy. Now. Yeah, this is lagging hard now. You're not able to get a shot off before the craft blasts its way into space. Gritting your teeth, determined not to let it escape, you press the flight sticks forward again, and you're forced back against the seat as the Juno hurls after the target. You can hear the engines begin to whine and the main monitor's false warnings and alerts, but you keep the controls where you are, not wanting to give the enemy a moment of reprieve. I just realized Apollo is a Gundam pilot. It's like Hanson, his like Marina Beastcraft. Oh fuck. Slowly you gain on this range craft. As soon as you're within range, you squeeze the trigger on the right stick, holding it down to empty the gun's magazine. We're not. This round slams the enemy with a sustained series of impacts, throwing it into a spin. There's more where that came from. You threaten to begin the process of reload your gun. The grim grin you focus on targeting rectangle, lining up your next scroll. Wait. In an instant, the enemy turns a snout-like protrusion already glowing brightly with the palpitating bolts of energy emanating from the light within its weapon. All you can do to draw the controls back is slide your feet down on the pedals, trying to halt the Juno before it's caught in the deadly beam. Yeah, we never got to thank him. You. Oh, fuck. Okay, at least it was just the arm. You. Through black morning skill, you managed to prevent the blast energy from clawing your Juno clean in half, but now alarms hit the cockpit and your warriors cut at your minds as you realize the armor frame's left arm has been sheared off. I like how it did like that little pause so you'd think you were like dead for a moment. You struggle with the controls as your off-balance machine careens through space, its fine calibration now thrown off by the loss of the limb. Manage to reorient itself while you see the enemy's cannon pulsing with energy and prepares another devastating shot. No. Damn it. Ah, fuck yeah. Douchebags here. Surprised you lasted this long. Night! Not a bad effort for your first flight. Gotta catch hell for the chief for losing that arm, though. Oh, Dalton can fix it. Hanson, what are you doing here? Saving your dumb ass. What's it look like? Why the hell did you chase that thing out here? I told you, it's taking Cassie. You're such a sap, Lieutenant. I want to go to bed. It's 5:30 in the morning. I need to see how this ends though. Look at him, like Butts is drawing him extra handsome. But you got guts. Never thought I'd see the day when you stood up for yourself. In an alternate timeline, we fucking electroshocked you right from the get-go. If you want to rescue your fan, get moving. I'll keep it here. Right. As soon as Hanson disappears